You need to turn your feelings off and just grind. And I'm going to tell you why. Because, if you have a plan and you have your moods, what is more consistent? What is more stable? If you follow the plan, you're following a clear-cut path towards your goals and your outcomes. And it's going to be that much easier to achieve your goals. But if you follow your moods change every single day. Throughout the week, I have 3 days where I'm happy, 3 days where I'm kind of confused and doubtful. And then I have another day of the week where I'm just in this blissful state. And the reason for that is because dopamine is constantly changing. So if you're relying on something that's constantly changing, you'll get constantly changing results. And nobody wants that. Who wants inconsistent improvement? Whether that's with your personal life, with your goals, whether that's with, the things you want to achieve, it's all the same. If you have a system and you create a system for yourself and you just rely on that system any day of the week, no matter what you feel, no matter how your feelings are, no matter what happens in your external life, if your internal state can remain the same and you can remain focused on your goals, that is when you'll achieve everyone. And the competition is large. Everyone's trying to improve themselves. Everyone is trying to get on this path and everyone is trying to achieve these goals and become rich and become successful and famous. And a lot of people have these goals. I'm not saying it's for everyone, but I am saying that if you want to destroy the competition, and that is the only way you're going to win, because the competition is so dense nowadays that if you want to get ahead of your competition, you're going to have to obliterate the competition. And the way you do that is by loving everything that is good and hating everything that is bad for you. Because when you do that, then even the good things like reading, like writing, like working, editing videos, for me at least, making videos, working, and spending time just developing your craft, it becomes play. The work becomes play. And if you can turn the work into play, then you can work more than anyone else, because when they're drained and tired after working, you're refueled, you're in your highest form of living. When the work becomes play, that is when you've won, because that is when you can work double the hours of everyone else, and they're tired, they're more tired than you, but you're more happy than them. And I mean, it's very simple, but to get to that point where the work becomes play, you're going to have to struggle a little bit. You're going to have to turn your feelings off and just do the work so that it becomes easier and easier over time. And believe me when I say that phase is the most ugly phase of all. It's the most draining and tiresome phase, which is just the beginning phase of, you're getting your life on track. You're starting these good habits. You're eliminating the bad ones. And it's just, there's so much resistance because you're not used to it. And that is where it's truly the most crucial part of your journey is the beginning. But it's also the most hard. It's the hardest. It's going to drain you the most, but you're going to have to overcome that so you can reach the stage where work becomes play. And when work becomes play, you can beat everybody. I remember at the beginning, I didn't like posting videos, but now I love posting videos. Now it's become my life. So I can spend more time on a video. I can just pump out content like nobody else because I love it, because for me, it's play. I can spend the whole day in my room just making videos, talking about these things and editing and, filming cinematic content, and it just feels so inspiring to me. And any day of the week, if you take me and somebody who just sees this work as a burden and they don't like what they're doing, I'm going to win every single time, because I'm going to be able to work double this person's work and I'm going to have more results, more fulfillment. And at the end, I can keep going. But this guy has to take 5 days to just relax because he's not in line with his purpose and he just doesn't love the work, and the work has not become play. So if I can summarize self-improvement in one single sentence or phrase, it's going to be this. You start off, you're implementing the good habits, but it takes a lot of struggle and discipline to get yourself on track. And then after that discipline phase passes, all of a sudden you're starting to enjoy the image, the self-image you have and the outcomes, and that is going to take you there way faster. When you start, the work is work, and then the work becomes play, and then the play is your work.